Hello there and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Sophie from thirdeyetraveler.com and I make magical videos from places that feel like a fairy tale. This weekend I'm in the historic city of Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England, and I'm going to be visiting one of the most magical libraries in the UK. This is the Lit and Phil Library, or the Literature and Philosophical Society in Newcastle, that initially was founded in 1793 and opened to the public in 1825. And I cannot wait to take you around. It is honestly a reading lover's dream with its beautiful interior. So if you are into libraries or reading or anywhere magical, keep watching this video as we're going to be visiting an incredible library today. So yes, my friend Tilly and I had a girly trip to Newcastle recently, and we rented this fabulous property in the High Quays overlooking the Tyne River. Look at that view, it is just absolutely incredible. And then we got up nice and early to head to this fabulous bookish location in the city. This is the Lit and Phil Library in Newcastle, or the Literary and Philosophical Society's library, and it has been here since 1825 on Westgate Road. We were so excited to head in for opening time, and I absolutely love this sign which tells you that it's free and welcome to all. When you get into the building, you are blown away by these fabulous grand hall and staircase, and we were really excited to head up and go inside the fabulous library. It's built in a neoclassical style, so you have these gorgeous portraits and busts as well as lots of ironwork. The staff kindly let us take the beautiful fairy tale steel staircase up to the mezzanine floor of the library so we could get some pictures nice and early before it got too busy. We were so excited to explore the upper floors, as this is where you can get some of the best views of this stunning secret library location. And the reason why people call it a secret library is because it's so hidden away. Even though it's by the central train station, most locals don't know it's here. And inside you can truly find a bibliophile's paradise. It's a sanctuary for reading lovers, and yes, just look at how stunning this architecture is. The Literary and Philosophical Society was established to discuss matters of the day, and the members used to gather for lectures, hold discussions and run scientific experiments. The founding members were inventors and philosophers and visionaries who were leaders in progress under the Industrial Revolution. The first president of the society was John Witherington in 1793, and it is still led by a president today. You may have heard of him. It is Alexander Armstrong, who is on BBC's Pointless. So yet, before the library was opened, the society would gather at various locations around the city until they created a permanent home for their book collection. At the time, their book collection was 8,000 books, which is no small feat back in the day, but they found a permanent home for their library on Westgate Road in 1825. Back then, all of the books were scientific in nature, which was in line with the founding members' interests, but the collection has diversified over time. The gorgeous building was designed by John Green, and it has remained in this location ever since. It still has many of its original features, like the stunning domed skylights and stunning ironwork that was used to create the second floor galleries. Over the years, the library has invited many famous guests to its neoclassical home, including the famous figures such as Oscar Wilde, E.M. Forster and Gertrude Bell. Today, the Lit and Phil Library is the largest independent library in the United Kingdom outside of London and has over 160,000 books, and it grows every year. The library is primarily funded by its private membership, and it is also a registered charity that relies on donations. It's a sanctuary for book lovers, and it is filled with all sorts of magical and interesting things that will amaze you. Of course, beyond admiring the stunning architecture, you're free to look at all the books while you're here. You can study at any of the desks and use the library as a reference library. If you wanted to take any home, you do have to become a member, but I just loved sitting on the comfy sofas, having a cup of tea and reading one of the books that they had in store. You can also find lots of curiosities dotted around the library, such as busts, portraits and taxidermy. There's even a platypus, which was a nod to the fact that Newcastle was one of the first cities to receive a stuffed platypus and a wombat in the city, and no one believed that these animals were real because of course they were so different from what we have in the UK. You're welcome to explore the library self-guided, but they do have guided tours called Behind the Books, and you can email them to book on to these for free. They work on a pay-as-you-wish system, and so you can pay what you like, so make sure to bring some cash to donate to the library. They also have lots of literary and book events throughout the year, like Books on the Tyne, which is a books festival. They have musical concerts, performances, book launches and discussions. It's such a fabulous resource, and I'm so jealous of the people of Newcastle who get to visit this on a daily basis. I think if I had something like this in my hometown, then I would certainly be here all the time, as there is just so much beauty in this library. It really is a literary hidden gem in Newcastle, and as we were leaving, I couldn't help but think that that was one of the most magical libraries I've visited in the UK. I really do recommend this secret library to anyone, so make sure that you visit the Listonfield Library when you're in Newcastle. If you are looking for more things to do in Newcastle upon Tyne, there are so many attractions that you can visit. One of the first places we visit was the Baltic, which is a contemporary art museum, but beyond art, they have an incredible viewing platform where you can see some amazing views of the Millennium Bridge and the Tyne Bridge. If you walk along the river, you'll be able to see some of these fabulous iron bridges that span the River Tyne. These really are an attraction in itself, and you could probably spend half the day climbing onto one bridge and another, as they provide some of the most panoramic and spectacular views of the city. I particularly like the views that you could get from the Tyne Bridge, as you could see the castle, the high level bridge and the lantern cupola of the cathedral. I also loved being so high up, as you could see all the fabulous rooftops with this ornate architecture. And also beyond views, these bridges have some of the most fabulous steel and iron architecture, and you must visit for a photo opportunity as well. The next thing I recommend is to pop into Newcastle Cathedral. This is a stunning building with spectacular interiors. My favourite part of our visit was this stunning choir, which had all of this beautiful carved oak. It was honestly stunning, and what made it even more special is that we actually got to hear the organ practice, which was really special. But yes, I found that of all the rooms in Newcastle Cathedral, the choir was my favourite. If you're getting thirsty or hungry after your visit to the cathedral, you must pop to Cafe 16, which is at the back. It is one of the most spectacular cafes in Newcastle, and it has this absolutely stunning painted ceiling. Just outside the back of the cathedral, you'll also find Newcastle's famous vampire rabbit. He's a grotesque that was built on this building in 1901, but he really remains a bit of a mystery. I personally found him adorable and wanted to take him home, but the best I could get was to have a few cocktails at the Vampire Rabbit bar, which is only a stone's throw away. And it comes as a surprise to no one that Newcastle has a castle. Yes, Newcastle actually gets its name from the castle that originally stood here, and it's still a popular visitor attraction today. You'll firstly visit the Black Gate, which has a fabulous museum about the history of the castle and its defence in the city, and then you'll head into the keep, which was my favourite part, and just look at this incredible Great Hall and the banners from that. You can then head up to the top of Newcastle Keep, and then you get some of the best views of the city from above. I particularly liked these archers who were on the top of the castle, which kind of looked like they were attacking people below. You also get some incredible views of the Black Gate and Cathedral, and honestly, we were so surprised that on a sunny day we had the view entirely to ourselves. It has an incredible history to tell you, so make sure that you visit. You can then head into the Granger Town area of Newcastle in the centre and head to these fabulous locations like the Central Arcade. I also recommend heading to the Laying Art Gallery, which is filled with incredible historic paintings. I'm a huge fan of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, and I was so happy that I got to see some of the original artworks here, including pieces from William Holman Hunt. and no visit to Newcastle would be complete without a nightly walk along the River Tyne. All of the bridges are lit up at night and it creates a fabulous panorama. You really can't miss it, even if it's a bit cold, and make sure you have your cameras ready. Outside of the city, there are some fabulous day trips that you can take from Newcastle, and one of them is Prudhoe Castle, which is a historic keep owned by the Percy family, who are also the owners of Alnwick Castle. It stood here for hundreds of years, but is more of a ruin today. We loved the fact that we could visit the 12th century medieval chapel above the gate tower, which I thought was the most impressive part. You can also visit places like Hadrian's Wall in Northumberland National Park to see Roman ruined forts like Housesteads, which is what we did on our trip. It was a wall created in 122 AD, and I cannot believe that some of these Roman ruins are still standing today. It's well worth seeing. Okay, so I've now finished my tour of the Lit and Feel Library. I had a magical time there. It is absolutely incredible to visit and it's absolutely free. I couldn't believe that. You can pop in, have a look at their books, have a look at the historic collections and just have an incredible time. And as I said, if you are a reading lover, the Lit and Feel Library in Newcastle is a must visit. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you joining me on our tour of the Lit and Feel Library today. If you did like watching this video, or you like reading or magic or books, make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more magical videos. I'll see you next time. Bye.